If you're scared that it's over after the breakup and you think that you're never going to have a chance again, watch this video. Hey, I'm Coach Benny, and I help people get their exes back. And before I did this, I was a dating coach for 5 years, where I had to watch closely how attraction works and use that experience to help you get your ex back. Now, one of the major things to understand about breakups and having a second chance is that your ex, the one that dumped you, is going to go through phases after the breakup, and time is a component of that. In the first phase, they're going to be very convinced that they made the right decision. They're going to be resolute about it. You're not going to be able to change their mind. And this is why letters don't work. This is why showing up to their work unannounced doesn't work. They're going to have their heels dug in pretty well, and you really can't do a lot about it. During this time, when you look them in the eye, they're going to be pretty authentic. They're going to say what they mean, and one of the things that they mean is that they're done. And this is where people start despairing. Now, once you stop chasing and you start realizing that anything that you do doesn't work, now you're going to give them some time in no contact, and you can start to move them into the second phase. Now, remember that somebody that's breaking up with you is kind of writing you off as a lost cause. So on some level, they're taking you for granted, and they realize that they're the chooser in this case, and they're in the seat of power, and they're deciding to, go away from you. So once you go no contact, that's a behavior that they're not expecting from you, where you're backing off and you're actually leaving them alone because you're showing some growth, you're showing some self-control, etc., right? So now they start to get curious about you. And during this phase, you're going to see little curious behaviors. They're going to be, maybe watching your stories. They might talk to some other people about you. They're going to do these little movements that you can tell are in relation to you, but it's not necessarily an incoming message, right? It's not powerful enough to mean something. Now, if you stay away for long enough and you're doing the right things, working on yourself and really just demonstrating a independently happy life, you're going to see their curiosity rise to the point where now they're going to kind of like ping you, right? They're going to send you a message and put out a feeler and kind of see, what they're working with in relation to you. Now, if you play your cards the right way, because these are pivotal moments, right, where they are, testing you, and you're confirming that, yes, you have grown, that, yes, you are independently happy, that, yes, you might be a good choice to be a mate again for them. As long as you don't get over enthusiastic and you kind of take your time and you're patient with it and you let them work for it a little bit, you will move them into the anxiety phase, which is the third phase. Your ex can start to get anxiety for you because you've demonstrated, as they've become curious about you, you've demonstrated that, yes, you've had good shit going on. And now that they're kind of touching base with you and you're not just like running to kind of chase them back and on this kind of a thing, you're going to create anxiety for them because they're going to, come to grips with the idea that they could lose you, that you're actually a good choice and they left a good thing. And now you've kind of set your sights elsewhere. And this is something that they could lose. Remember, at the time of the breakup, you were the only one losing. They thought, they kind of took you for granted. They kind of, thought to themselves that it wasn't even a loss. So now in the anxiety phase, they're starting to feel the loss. And as long as you can hold tight, because they're going to give you some blowback in the anxiety phase, right? They might start, they're going to put up some hurdles for you to jump through. They might give you some shit. It's going to be a little cat and mouse. It's going to be a little bit of back and forth. And as long as you can withstand that with emotional discipline, you will start to move them into the fourth phase, which is doubt, where they're second guessing whether or not the breakup was even a good idea to begin with. And this is when they're going to start to want you back. Now, notice the theme throughout moving them through all the stages, right? It has a lot to do with patience. It has a lot to do with focus on you and not on them. It has a lot to do with being charismatic and playful, which I didn't talk a lot about in this video, but it does have a lot to do with that. And if you want some help with this process, click into my profile, click this link right here, set up a call with me, and I want to hear your story, and I'll give you a step-by-step game plan to get your ex back.